Story time about how one time my neighbor literally stole my cat and took him 10 miles away. So for context, my cat is a Savannah Tabby mix. He loves to be outside, and we live in Hawaii, so it is a perfect place for him to just be outside. But my cat is also really stupid, so he'd jump on people's roofs and go poop in people's yards, and I don't want to be that person, and my family doesn't want to be that person, so it was hard to like deal with it. I have a fucking pimple. See it. So anyways, he slept in my sister's room that night, and then he went out at some point and really early in the morning because we just left the back door open. He could just go out. And then I woke up the next morning and he just like wasn't there, like, and that was normal, but most of the time he would come in to get his wet food for breakfast. And so my mom went out and started calling for him, and we could hear a cat screaming, but we obviously couldn't tell if it was our cat. And then we had a neighbor, and like our house was here, and then we had the backyard, and then she was like diagonal to our backyard. So my mom was on the back deck calling him, and the lady in the back literally looked at us as she was putting like a cage in her car, and we know now that it was our cat. So anyway, we were kind of like losing it because it had been like a couple hours since he'd come home, and he checks in every once in a while. He just likes to come in. So my dad finally drove over to her house to ask her if she'd seen our cat because we saw her putting a cage in her car and meowing. And then my dad called and said that she did put our cat in her car and drove him away. So we got into the car and we drove down to where she said she dropped him off.